Hello, everyone, and welcome. That song always brings a smile to my face. Yeah, so welcome to those joining me on the Zoom, and also to those watching the live stream on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't respond to questions on the live stream. So if you would like to join and ask questions or participate, then join next time on the Zoom. So today's theme is, what is it? Beyond awakening, beyond awakening, the end of specialness. Yeah. So before we get into that theme, I'd like to just take a few moments to just tune in with how we're feeling right now. So if you just get comfortable and you can close your eyes or lower your gaze and just take some deep breaths. And with each breath, bringing your attention more and more here, now, with whatever is happening in your experience now. Noticing any background sounds, any sounds coming from this body that can make all kinds of weird sounds. The gurgle of the belly, or the sound of a swallowing, or the breath coming in and out. And then just noticing the sensations as they are right now. Just noticing them as they are, whatever is here. And noticing if there is any thought commentary about whatever is here. That's also absolutely welcome to be here. We just don't give the thoughts more attention than any other sensation. So if you notice that more attention is going on the thinking, then just gently bring your attention back to another sensation, just acknowledging that, yes, there is a thought sensation happening presently. And there is also a foot touching the ground sensation, or whatever other sensation is here for you presently. And also noticing if there are any emotions, feelings. Just acknowledging them. They're absolutely welcome to be here. Any waves of energy in any form. Just fully feeling whatever is here. And as we give ourselves this space to feel, we may also notice that there are more subtle sensations or feelings that we hadn't even realized were there before. Nothing to do with them. Nothing is a problem. Nothing means anything about you or your state. It's simply the landscape here now. And as we are noticing the landscape just as it is, there is that you are, that is the awareness of whatever is here, that sees the landscape, that knows whatever is here. That is not dependent on any particular experience or sensation or feeling or thought. It's not dependent on any state that might happen in the landscape. It is simply aware of whatever is here, untouched by it, even though paradoxically you might be completely touched by whatever is here. And this is the paradox of awakening, of life. So then we can again come back to the breath, taking some deeper breaths in and out. Breathing into the belly. Feeling the sensation of sitting on this chair, this seat, or the feet on the ground. And then when you're ready, we can open our eyes and come back to the screen. Taking a moment to look at these people on the screen, if you can see them. So, our theme today is Beyond Awakening, the End of Specialness. Yeah. So, I feel like there's a lot in this theme, a lot, and we could take it in any direction, really. So, let's see where we go. I feel first we need to say, what is awakening? Because that word is taken to mean so much by people in different ways. I like to see it as a very fundamental recognition of who we really are. And I say it's fundamental because it's actually so obvious and so simple when we realize it. Obviously, when we are looking at it from our thinking and we're trying to get there and we're trying to understand it, it can seem very complicated, difficult. But really, it's much easier than the thinking imagines because it's already your true nature. It's already recognizing who we are, that is aware of whatever is happening. And it's actually a very simple thing to recognize because it is always here. But the problem with it, in a way, is that it's not special, that it is no particular experience, no particular quality or feeling or state, which is why often the mind might discount it or dismiss it because it's looking for something better, bigger, more fancy and special. Something that's going to give me some kind of special state or feeling, or perhaps something that's going to make me behave in a certain way or live in a certain way. It's going to be the end of all my problems or the end of any discomfort. And so, because the mind has certain ideas about it, when it is recognized, it's often quickly dismissed as being, that can't possibly be it. Right? It's not anything because it's true, it's not anything. Which is why it's so frustrating and challenging for the mind to actually be able to grasp it. It's impossible for it to grasp it. Which also is why it's so simple, because it's not known by the mind. It's known in a way that every baby knows. And if every child knows, it's so obvious that we don't even need to acknowledge it because it's who we are. It's only as adults that we take ourselves so seriously, that we believe our thinking, that we believe that I am the story of me. And if I'm the story of me, then I'm separate from all the other me's out there. And then that's painful to live like that. We live in an isolated box of me, longing to connect, longing to merge, longing to expand into what we deeply sense is our true nature. But we struggle to get there because we're so used to believing in our thoughts. And of course, the whole world, the whole of our culture, our society seems to reinforce that worshipping of the mind. So it takes quite some courage to stop and just ask yourself, what is true? What is really true beyond all the thoughts? What do I really know when I don't believe everything that everybody's ever told me? And we're left with nothing really, just this moment, feeling the sensations, sitting here, the sounds, the images, noticing even the thoughts. Maybe there's a feeling of restlessness in the body, that it wants to grasp something, wants to get somewhere. We just notice it. We meet it as it is, because this is what's here. And when we don't believe our thoughts, especially the thought me, the location of me inside here, separate to everything else, when we don't believe that thought, we wake up out of the dream of separation, the dream of a separate me. And then what? Right? It's not how we might imagine that we just simply skip off into the sunset in bliss. We go on living, right? There's still this human experience. And perhaps before awakening, you might have tried everything to escape the human experience because it was uncomfortable, because there was suffering. And perhaps you were hoping that awakening would be the end of that suffering. And then when you do wake up, you're left with the meaninglessness of the sensations or feelings or whatever is here in the human experience. There is no more hope of one day having some kind of perfect meaning or resolution or sense of fulfillment for it all. So at first, it can be a disappointment. It can be a kind of crash into hopelessness. Many people experience a period of kind of dark night, the dark night of the soul, where there's a period of hopelessness. But this hopelessness is not negative. It's not something bad. It's actually about coming back to the present experience instead of hoping for a one day, a perfect future, or something other and out there. It is meeting what is actually here, even if it's uncomfortable, even if your thoughts say, I don't like this, I don't want this. It's meeting it, feeling it, meeting this human just the way he or she is. knowing all the while that this human is not who I truly am. I'm not limited to the me in here, because anytime I look to find a me in here, there's no one here. And yet the human goes on. Right now she's speaking and she's moving her hands, right? She's here and she's feeling things. She's having an experience. There is an experience, right? And none of that is denied in awakening. In fact, it's the opposite. Everything is embraced and welcomed as an opportunity to meet myself like this or like that. And when I say meet myself, I'm not talking about a separate me. I'm talking about life itself, meeting itself in this particular human experience of sitting on this chair, speaking right now. Right now, I meet myself just the way she is right now, just the way I am, because I'm not separate from her, right? Life itself, awareness, truth, love, all those beautiful words that point to our true nature, is living as this human. It is the divine expressing itself as the human, the absolute as the personal. So then the personal human journey, whatever it is looked at with curiosity. What's she doing now? What's she feeling now? And there's no more goal for some future state of perfection for this human. Yeah, she's met just as she is, with all the flaws that the mind might find, right? She's certainly not perfect, whatever perfection means, right? It's just an idea, right? It's just a thought. And so then the journey of this human becomes divine, actually. And it doesn't mean that the state or the experience is always an experience of feeling divine, although there might be those feelings. But it is about meeting whatever is here, even if it's uncomfortable, meeting it and knowing that there's no escape from it. Where would I go? There's only me here. Meeting it, knowing that it is all here for me to know myself, for this human to keep opening and opening and opening to life itself, to being held as love. Right? This human is loved. No matter what she does, whatever she feels, or wherever she goes, whatever messes she creates, right? She's loved in that mess. Whatever mess she feels, no matter how unspiritual and unspecial she is embraced just the way she is. Not by some outside person or force, but by me as life itself, loving myself just the way I am in this particular sensation. And this is not special. How could it be? It's so most ordinary because it is in drinking this tea, it is in looking at you right now, the sensation of feet on the ground. It is navigating through this human timeline. It is making certain decisions or having relationships, struggles, challenges, ups and downs. the whole human journey unfolding perfectly, just the way it is. And none of it means anything about who I am, because who I am is life itself, aware of myself, just the way I am. So I'd love to hear from you, those of you on the Zoom, if you would like to ask anything or share anything, you can just raise your hand and we can have a dialogue. And also you're welcome to type something in the chat, but I always prefer to have a face-to-face dialogue. I see someone's asking how you raise your hand. Like this. You don't have to do it any different. I mean, you can be high tech if you want to, if you can. I don't even know how to do that. I think it does it automatically. If you do that, look. Yeah, look, there's a little hand that comes. There you go. Yes. How do you pronounce your name? Zander?
Yes, that's completely fine. It's in Dutch, it's pronounced Xander, but
Zander.
nobody speaking English pronounces it that way. So this is the international way of pronouncing it.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, and nice to meet you too. First of all, thank you very much for this lovely session. It was truly inspiring for me. Um, I'm relatively new to Advaita. Um, I'm somewhat experienced with in let's say mindfulness meditation or vipassana meditation. And what I find is that I'm very so first of all, I have a tendency to think a lot and like really a lot, and it's a struggle for me, or at least it's a challenge for me to move away from that and experience the moment more. I've been doing that for a few months now. It's already brought me a lot. Um, but when I'd also like to go into this. I'd like to experience this non-duality a bit more. I don't know, uh,
Mm.
actively, or I don't know if that's the right word. Consciously, probably. I'm using very wrong words. I don't know.
It doesn't matter about the word.
All right.
Yeah, all the words are wrong, right?
Exactly, yeah. And what I find is in these meditative sessions, like the one you started this session with, I can very easily follow these very actionable instructions about focus your breath here, focus your attention there, focus your attention here, focus your attention there, feel the seat, feel the chair. And then when things start to go into this, let's say, non-duality, or the pure awareness that is, let's say, one level higher or deeper, depending on how you look at it, above these actual individual experiences, I find
Mm.
that these instructions become a bit more descriptive. Like it's a description of what this is, but this very much puts me back into my mind, starts thinking a lot about what it means. I can see the picture conceptually, but I don't get there. I don't feel it somehow. And I was wondering if you may have any tips or resources
Yeah.
to get more into the action of or
Mm.
the mindset of experiencing it rather than overthinking the concept.
So as you're speaking now, there's a part of you that is noticing that you're speaking,
Yeah.
right? Noticing or aware of sitting here, looking at the screen, right? Feeling what you're feeling. In a way, like watching yourself. Do you have a sense of that?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. It's really simple. And the problem is that the mind wants something complicated, and it can't grasp that watching of what you're doing, or watching the thoughts also. The very fact that you know that your mind is busy or very active is because you're watching it, right? You know it. So the mind can't do this, right? It tries by thinking more. But no matter what the mind does, it can't get far back enough to that is watching all of it without exception, right? All of it is being watched. It's like the ultimate big brother, right? Yeah. And so it's not that there's some kind of special tip. Um, I mean, I could give you some tips to focus more on the body, right, rather than the thoughts. And that's often helpful because the physical sensations are, we're more simple, right? They're just happening presently, and that's it. The thoughts are much more complicated and fantastical. Um, so that can help. Anytime you notice the mind is getting very busy, just bring your attention to the body. What am I feeling in my chest, in my belly, or sitting where something physical that anchors you to the present, right? Um, but that's not going to give you necessarily an experience of the non-dual. It will just bring you back out of thought in that moment. Um, but that's a good start, I would say. And to acknowledge that, yeah, there is this watching, which you already have a sense of, you know, and that is already here. So the mind doesn't need to try to do it or grasp it because you already know that. It just doesn't affect your experience. Maybe that's what you were hoping for, that knowing this would somehow quiet your mind or give you a better experience, but it doesn't. It's just watching it. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I know that it can feel very I guess, yeah, strange to hear that this awakening doesn't fix your experience in any way. Then you could ask, well, what's the point of it? Right? Why would I want this or go for it or be searching for it? And it's because it's the truth, not for any other reason, right? It's just, it's the truth of who we are, whether we like it or not, whether it gives us a good experience or not. It's the truth. And so if you're chasing or hoping for a better experience, well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that awakening or non-duality is not going to help you necessarily with that at first. I mean, once you realize that your thoughts don't mean anything, of course, naturally your experience changes, but um, it doesn't change through any doing. And so first we have to confront the disappointment of, all our hopes for a better experience. It's like a step in a way, in a pathless path. As we said, all the words are wrong, but In a way, I feel like if we don't confront the reality of the fact that all our hopes for a perfect state or perfect future are absolutely hopeless, then will never come back to this present moment and realize that this is it. This is all that there is. There is no one day. Uh, Christina.
Hi to all.
Hi.
Uh, very, I'm left with nothing with this speech, but I'm very curious because when I let everything go, thoughts, it's just this, what is, but I'm still the mind wants to land on something, but there is nowhere. It's nowhere to land. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm just it's it's
Yeah.
very strange to it's
Yes, it
do
is.
you
It's a kind of disorientating feeling where
yeah
the mind is trying to grasp, trying to land, trying to know, trying to become, trying to do, which is its nature. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not the bad guy. It's not the enemy. It's just
yeah
that it's always just going to be limited. And so it will go on trying to do its job. It's just that it doesn't mean anything and it doesn't get anywhere. And so, yeah, there's nowhere to land. So it's an uncomfortable process in a way of feeling that. Feeling there's probably some sensations felt physically with that as well, right? So yeah, all that you can do is feel it, be with it. And in a way, that's the landing place. It's not the landing place for thought, but it's the
just
present
what is at the present moment.
moment, whatever it is, whatever is felt, whatever is here. This
Always
is,
the present moment. That's why I like water, like river.
yeah, yeah,
Strange, yeah. Mm, mm. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you, Christina. Heidi. You're still, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Um, I am a little confused in my relationships because there is a mirroring going on. And I wonder if you could say something about that.
About mirroring
Yeah.
in general, or
Yeah, it's I've seen a change in my relationships that's quite confusing for me. It's like the intuition is telling me that something strange is going on. It's like, well, who are you, or what?
strange in a
Strange it sounds very strange, but like I'm having the experience of people that used to be themselves now wants to be me. It's very confusing.
yeah, I mean, I would say that, the people around you, the environment that you're in, the place, the space, is all an opportunity to explore yourself, to meet yourself. And so it's natural that it is all mirroring yourself, and reflecting what is here for you to explore and for you to perhaps wake up to in yourself. We bring these people or places, spaces, or challenges into our lives to explore ourselves. So if your intuition is saying something about that, then yeah, maybe it's an invitation to question, to look at with curiosity.
Yeah. I also have asked about it. So why do you want to know? Or why do you ask me this? And people just say, I don't know what you mean. So it's like, then I reflect myself, like, but I find it very confusing because it's people I've known for many years, and suddenly a year or two ago, everything changed.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean anything. Your mind might be trying to give it some kind of meaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, life is simple. Really, nothing means anything. It's just as it is.
Yeah.
It would be tempting to turn it into some kind of story of me and what this means.
Yeah, and also what you shared about being special or being,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could you be special? I
Yeah.
find that it's even the opposite. Like in a way, we become more ordinary.
Yeah.
And if people are more, let's say, attracted to being with you or being you, then perhaps there's something in that for you to feel into. Like, what does that do for you? How does that make you feel? Maybe it's even this very question of specialness that it's here for you to explore.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Mm.
The feeling is that I miss you being you. It's like the friend that was kind of not me, but something else to reflect, to share with, to respond to.
Yeah. Some kind of outside influence.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way, that's still the game, right? They can still come with a different perspective and bring some different kind of inspiration, or challenge. But ultimately, it's all in you.
Yeah. Yeah. My son is saying, can't you just be flattered about it? Just enjoy it. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. But I find it strange because it was such a shift.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, life is strange. Huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
But very different also. It was a big shift.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Even more tempting to make it mean something.
Yeah. Or try to. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sashko.
Yeah. Hi, Unmani.
Hi.
I'm not used to live with fear But this week, this is the second day where where I'm frightening somehow. I think there was a trigger that the last company I'm working for, they say, oh, maybe our YouTube channel, we don't need it anymore somehow. And yeah, and it's not nice to be with that feeling. I try only not to make thoughts about it, only feel it, but there's then the hope that it can end. And then it's suddenly away, and then it comes back. And
Do you notice that those waves of feeling come and go by themselves, out of control?
in other feelings, I know, but with fear, I'm not used to that. I have the problem maybe that I want to have it away, that this is where it then stays.
Yeah.
And it's difficult not to do with it by thinking also about why I have now that feeling. I don't know if it's really fear. It makes me
Contract.
narrow, not so wide, and
Yeah, but that too doesn't mean anything about you.
in this feeling, it's difficult.
Oh.
It's more difficult than in other feelings, I think.
Yeah, it's intense. It's it's a strong feeling. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, and it's about survival, it sounds like, right? So that's often, a very intense flavor, right?
The thing is, right now, there's a sentence, I want to know why. Maybe it's if you say it doesn't mean anything, then maybe then like it's better to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, the thinking wants to understand why so that it can provide some relief, right? It wants to do whatever it can to come to rest. And, so that you don't have to feel so much discomfort. But it's, it circles to try to find a reason or an explanation for it in the hope that if I would just understand it, then it would stop. But this is often not the way to come to rest. This is just more thinking. Right? Thinking, trying to understand thinking, trying to understand thinking. And actually, the only rest in it is to just feel it. Feel it for as long as it's here. To absolutely surrender to the feeling. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it can feel even as if it may kill me. But this is what's here. This is what life is expressing itself as now. So who am I to say it shouldn't be here or try to get rid of it?
There's a second trigger right now. It's to be aware if I'm completely inside, that there is no outside anymore, that I'm then alone.
Yeah.
And I think this is the second trigger, and I have read some sentences I don't know why, but it was told then you are not completely inside now. And there was a feeling if I really go complete inside, then there's nothing outside anymore.
Yeah.
Can you say something about
Yeah.
that? That
Yeah.
makes me it's the job is not so deep trigger. This is more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another theme for another one of these open meetings. For even, we could talk about that a lot.
Okay, yeah.
But now just briefly, yeah, I mean, I am alone, right? You, we are alone. That is the reality. And I can understand it does feel very risky to, in your language, to go completely inside, to no longer be reaching out to the outside world to connect or to save me or help me or reflect to me, show me, see me, to just be in me. It can feel scary because that's all that we have known growing up in our whole lives, right? As a survival, right? We humans need others, especially young humans, right? We need others to support us, to reflect, how to be, what to do, in order to survive. And so to let go of that and to, in a way, withdraw completely from the world to just simply who I am can feel like a death. Right? Like I risk death if I let go of the world. And yes, it is about meeting death. Yeah. And, as you see, like the world does go on, but goes on in a very different way without a dependency on it. Right? Even if sometimes the human patterns might still play out as if there is a world out there, that's always held in an absolute aloneness. Okay. Just checking if there's anyone. Sander, I see you have your hand up again. You're welcome. Yeah.
I understand it's also past 8. So are you sure I can ask another question?
Yes. Yeah. It's
All
okay.
right.
Last
Thank
one.
you. So I've given your response from earlier some time to digest, and I there is definitely some truth in your suspicion that there's hope to alter experience in some form or the other.
Mm.
Nonetheless, if I can nuance that desire somewhat. I'm not expecting to see psychedelic colors or whatever. So what I'm still a little bit puzzled by, and maybe you can allude to it a little bit, is if you in these guided meditation sessions, it's very similar to Vipassana style meditation where you focus on various things, but at some point you release the focus on anything specific to rather not experience those things which are either thoughts or sensations, and therefore experience the awareness itself. Can you maybe this step I have difficulty with, and I was hoping maybe to get some advice on how to follow along and not lose track of those guided meditation sessions then.
Well, I can't speak for some other kind of meditations or someone else, the teachings of Vipassana. I don't want to speak for them because, they can speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't want to interpret, anyone else's teaching. But I would say that any kind of experience of awareness is an experience actually happening in awareness. And so even if you do have a moment where you have an experience of some kind of, being aware of awareness, I would say that this is more of a mind game. And actually, it's much more simple, as I said to you before. And, as you just were noticing, that there is this watching of this conversation right now, right? That is awareness. And it's not always experienced. I mean, it's not experienced, right? Because it's the awareness of experience. So that's why the mind can't experience it, right? So the best that the mind can do is to say, I don't know. I don't get it. That's really the best that the mind can do. When the mind bows down and says, there's no hope for me to get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And in that very surrender of the mind as the boss, as the one who could try to get it or arrive there, do it, there's the possibility to see and to consciously acknowledge the awareness or, the truth of who you really are beyond the thoughts. Because as long as you're focused on the thoughts, you overlook the simplicity of who you are right now. So that's why I suggest, bringing the attention to the sensations, to train the thoughts to see that they are not so important. They are not the boss. They don't know it all. So as soon as the thinking thinks, oh, I know it, or I've got it, or if I do this and this, I'll get it, bring the attention to the sensations, so that the thinking is humbled again and again. So that the thinking can see for itself, I can't do it, I can't get it, I can't arrive. All there is this sensation, this sound, this image, just looking, seeing, that's it. That's enough. There never has to be more than that, right? It's more than enough, just this simple experience now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm just checking if there are any questions on the chat. Yeah, there's quite a few things here. Let's see. Oh, hang on, sorry, I've just lost the chat there again. Okay. Yes. We've got thank you so much for your conversation between you and Margot. She tells me that she tells in her book. Yes, Margot's got a wonderful book. I can't read it yet because it's not in English yet. It's in Dutch. And I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the title because I'll say it wrong. Yeah, and it helps me a lot about my thoughts about death. Wonderful. I'm glad. And Heidi, I listened to you share about longing yesterday and breaking you open. How do you know if you are open or have an open heart? Ooh, that's another one that we could have another one of these open meetings all about that. But just to respond, yeah, it's not a particular state, or it's not a particular thing that you can say, right, I know now that I have an open heart. It's not a formula or something like that. But I would say that it's again coming back to what is presently felt, what's presently experienced, and noticing where there might be thoughts that resist or close off to what is here, or thoughts that say, I don't want this, or I'm too scared to feel this, and meeting those as well, meeting all the layers that are here, meeting your own vulnerability. Yeah. This not knowing how to be, who to be, why, what, when, not understanding, not getting it, and just being here with whatever is here. Yeah. I mean, having an open heart, we all have an open heart, we all are the open heart. Life itself is one big open heart, right? So it's just about acknowledging what is here. And then we can't help but have an open heart because we feel it, right? We feel whatever is here. When we're not believing in our thoughts that kind of create these barriers of separation, then there's only heart here, right? Lots of hearts on the screen too. Nice. And then Dennis, just an observation, we can focus on what is at hand or on the awareness of it. Two different things. We can focus on what is at hand, or the awareness of it. It's when I focus on awareness that I have glimpses of truth, and my mind automatically makes a picture out of or tries to classify it, and it disappears. Just working on letting go, and in what I see. And in what I see, there is no one special. It is just all that is. Yeah. So I wonder, when you say focusing on awareness, what that actually means for you. And maybe it's just words now. But because it can be a sneaky mind game. Yeah. Okay, Dennis, go for it. We have to make that the last.
Yeah, I know this is the end. When I say focus on awareness, it's like being mindful. Like I can look at my screen right now and I can focus on what I see, or then I can shift my attention to the awareness of it, and it changes. There's a change that happens that I can't really describe, but I'm focusing on the knowing of what I'm seeing, and it seems like they're two different things. And when I do that, like sometimes I just observe my thoughts, and suddenly everything changes, and that's what I call a glimpse. Where
I understand, but then I would ask you, who is the one that is focusing on awareness?
right, I do that, and I will continue to do that. But my mind takes over, it's like an automatic thing. Very often I'll have this glimpse, and it's so clear that I think it's easy to explain and nobody's ever talked about it. And then when I try to talk about it, I realize everybody's talking about it. You just can't talk about it. It's just trying to put into words what is here.
Yeah. Yeah. All the words are wrong, but we love to attempt to put it into words. It's like singing a beautiful love song, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Dennis. Okay. Well, So we'll stop there for today, but just to let you know that the next one of these is on the 2nd of November. And the theme, it's not on my website yet, but it will be, I think, today or tomorrow, will be a puppet. I think it's a puppet show without a puppeteer, something like that. Yeah, so that will be an interesting theme. And as I've said before, if you ever feel like that we should explore a particular theme, just email us and with an idea for a theme, and I'd love to, explore a theme that is relevant for you. And also then after the next time, we'll take a break from these open meetings because I'm going to do a 6-week online journey or program entitled Grief as a Doorway to Spiritual Awakening. And that's open to anybody. You don't have to be particularly in the thick of some heavy grief because we all experience grief. Grief is not just about the loss of a loved one, although we all inevitably will lose loved ones. Grief is, a disappointment of hopes and dreams, or changes in our lives, the endings of all kinds of things. There's all kinds of grief. Yeah, so you're welcome to join me. And that starts on the 9th of November for 6 weeks at this time, the same time as this. Yeah, so I look forward to seeing all the information's on my website anyway. Okay, well, thank you very much to all of you, and see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.